Thanks for watching an Insider Report. Gabby Santo with Danny Parker outside of Ray and Lucy Hand's studio, where we just spoke with some of the coordinators as well as some of the players. Of course, from week 1 to week 2 is when teams tend to make the most improvements in their game and their play style. Last week, bit of a struggle for Tennessee, especially on the defensive side, giving up 655 total offensive yards. You spoke with Coach Shoop today, and I know he spoke about that. Heard him say some things that he regretted from the game. What did you get out of what he said today?
Well, one of the things the coaching staff, including Bob Shoop, said over the course of the summer is they want to play more players. I just don't think Tennessee has enough trust in some of their young guys right now. I do expect that to change as the season goes on. Not too many guys on the defensive side of the football enrolled in January. So a lot of these guys they want to work in are players from that 2017 class that they really have only had about 6 weeks with through training camp. So once those guys earn the trust of Coach Shoop, I think they'll get on the field a little bit more. And, you know, as you may have seen some of the video after the game, he just looked distraught, tired. He talked about that. He said it was the most exhausted he's ever been after a game. With that triple option attack Georgia Tech had and so many adjustments the Yellow Jackets were making, Tennessee was having to adjust to what they were doing. So there were constant adjustments throughout the game. And, you know, the way they played, I know a couple of defensive linemen lined up 2-3 yards off the ball. The linebackers, including Colton Jumper, started to line up a little bit further back. So just so many adjustments took place in that game. I think as Tennessee gets into more traditional offenses on the other side of the football, I think they'll be pleased and probably less stressful for that defensive staff.
While you were speaking with him, I was over with Brady Hoke, and Brady Hoke mentioned a few things about potential opportunity for some of the younger guys to get thrown in this game. I know he said that he's always happy to get as many new guys in playing as much as he can. This past week, he was talking about some of the guys who were playing most of the time along the front four. Khalil McKenzie with 85 snaps, I believe he said. Absolutely insane for a guy that size. That's crazy, and it was. Daryl Taylor, I know he had a lot of good things to say about him. 12 tackles from him. Couple, some great things from the defensive line. They definitely have some cleaning up to do. And also on the offensive side, you mentioned something about there being some lineup changes this week, with Callaway, et cetera. Can you explain those?
Yeah, we spoke with offensive coordinator Larry Scott, and obviously Drew Richmond's coming back from his 1-game suspension. He was a starting left tackle entering camp. He's going to be the starting left tackle against Indiana State. All signs point to that. Coach Jones alluded to as much. So with Richmond coming back into the lineup, that will move fifth-year starter Brett Kendrick to the other side of the offensive line. Marcus Tatum will come off the field. So we'll see if Tatum, Benzo Bilwer, some of these guys rotate into the game in the first half against Indiana State. It should be a game with Tennessee playing a lot of FBS, playing an FBS program. Should be able to get a lot of guys on the field. So, but we should see Richmond in the lineup at left tackle. You mentioned Marquez Callaway, guy that really showed out. 4 catches, 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. Really a game-changing type athlete for Tennessee against Georgia Tech. Without him, they don't win that football game. Juwan Jennings is out for this game and several more after this week 2 action. So Marquez Callaway should get in the starting lineup. We'll see how that works out. Brennan Johnson's another guy he's competing with. And then also the coaches talk about they're going to get some guys more rotated into that slot position. That they cross-trained some players. Jordan Murphy, a freshman, is a guy that I think they wanted originally redshirt, but he's going to come. That redshirt's going to come off him, and I expect him to get some time in the slot as well. Josh Smith may not be all the way back, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets some reps in Indiana State. But if they hold him out, I think he'll definitely be ready in time for Gainesville.
Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll keep you updated with everything. I know we're talking to Butch Jones later tonight after practice, so stay tuned for all that. For Danny Parker, I'm Gabby Santa.